somebody over there. Beth, so I don't think Beth is in here. Your name?
Mark Stone, very Robert Fuller.
Michael A. Carmen, be 73824, on behalf of defendant, Your Honor.
Okay. You handed up your appearance.
I did.
Where'd you put that to?
He left it down here, Judge.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, Mr. Carmen, just give me 1 second. Your client is charged with violation of probation. He has one prior technical violation. And this is essentially 7 more. Failure to refrain from consuming alcohol, failure to submit to sober-link blows at 8 a.m. on March 28th. Failure to appear for weekly testing on March 31. Failure to submit to a sober-link blow on April 3rd at 4 p.m. Failure to refrain from consuming alcohol. Testing positive on a sober-link blow on April 3rd. Failure to submit to a sober-link blow at 8 p.m. on April 4th. Failure to submit to another sober-link blow at 12 p.m. on April 5th. So, Mr. Carmen, how is he going to proceed?
Your Honor, count 1 is gonna be not guilty in part and guilty in part. Count 2 is.
Hang on a second, let me make sure I understand. What? All I'm gonna deal with on that, I'm not gonna, these all arrives on the same transaction. Is he pleading guilty to submitting a sober-link blow that was positive on March 22nd or 25?
That portion of it is going.
Not guilty?
Yes, that is for the 8 a.m. blow.
Okay.
And then the fail to submit, the subsequent ones would be guilty.
Okay. Phone, where's the phone? You gotta remove the phone from the building, sir. No, I want it out of the building. What about count 2?
That's gonna be not guilty, Your Honor.
Why don't we just go? Why don't we just have it resolved?
That's fine.
Your name?
That's going on confrontation, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear affirmative penalties of perjury that the testimony you will give in these proceedings will be the whole truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry, can we just confirm to he pled not guilty on counts 1,
Go.
just through all of it?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so taking a look at count 1, failed to refrain from consumption and or possession of alcohol. The defendant submitted to sober-link blow at 8 a.m. on March 22nd, 2025, with results of 0.079 BAC. Defendant failed to submit to subsequent blows at 8:15 a.m., 8:45 a.m., 9:15 a.m., 9:45 a.m., 10:15 a.m., 10:45 a.m., and 12 p.m. The next blow was at 2:28 p.m. with 0.0 results for BAC. Count 2 failed to submit to sober-link blows at 8 a.m. on March 28th. He then failed, count 3, failed to submit to weekly chemical testing at DNA at March 31st, 2025 via DNA. Count 4 failed to submit to sober-link blows at 4 p.m. on April 3rd of 2025. Count 5 failed to refrain from consumption or possession of alcohol. The defendant submitted to sober-link blows at 5:02 p.m. on April 3rd with results of 0.072 BAC. Defendant failed to submit to subsequent blows at 5:17 p.m., 5:47 p.m., 6:17 p.m., 6:47 p.m., 7:17 p.m., and 7:47 p.m. Next blow was at 8:07 p.m. with 0.0 results for BAC. Count 6 failed to submit to sober-link blows at 8 p.m. on April 4th, 2025. Count 7 failed to submit to sober-link blows at 12 p.m. on April 5th, 2025.
Do you have any questions over Mr. Carmen?
I would ask with regard to the 3:22, the 8 a.m. on 3:22. That was a Saturday, I believe. If there was a positive blow, does the sober-link prompt him for a reblow at a certain time?
Correct. Anytime there's a positive test on a sober-link device, it'll always prompt you for a retest, and it'll continue to prompt you for a retest up to 10 times until either the device is negative Or if it continues testing, it'll time out after 10 times of positive testing.
And how, and at what intervals?
I believe the intervals, if I take a look at the times, are 30-minute intervals.
Okay, so if he had a positive blow at 8 AM, it would have prompted him to retest at 8:30.
Correct.
But here it says, failed to submit to subsequent blows at 8:15, 8:45, and then et cetera in half-hour increments.
Correct. It's generally the half-hour increments on the time for it. Again, we always tell defendants anytime there is a positive test, always submit to the reblows, because if it is an environmental factor, those reblows will be zeros if it was an environmental factor.
Okay, so then 15 minutes, but it looks like in this case, it wasn't prompted after half hours, 15 minutes.
Correct.
Okay, could that be contributed at least in part by environmental factors?
What do you mean by the testing times?
Yeah, for that he was prompted 15 minutes later instead of
I
half
could
hour.
be incorrect about the testing times. The SoberLink device and the SoberTrack have different times on them, so I could be incorrect on the testing times, but it will always reprompt you up to about 10 times generally.
Okay. So that'd be consistent with him blowing zeros at 2:28.
Correct.
Okay. And then also, with that day was a Saturday, well, I guess I should save that for my explanation, not really a question. So the question is that,
Does your client wish to testify?
Marcus.
You talk to your lawyer first.
Yeah.
Yes, I wish to testify.
Raise your right hand and solemnly swear to affirm the penalties of perjury that the testimony you will give in these proceedings be the whole true self you got.
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
All
I
right.
can ask any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, so Mr. Fuller, and again, I'm looking at some of the notes you sent me, we've.
Yes.
So you sent me some feedback and addressed 1 through 7 and I'm looking at that right here, okay? So you said, you didn't drink at all on 3/22,
I did not.
correct? But later that Saturday, you were doing the court to work program,
Yes, sir.
as for this case?
Yes.
Okay, so is that why you failed to submit to those subsequent blows?
Yes.
Do you remember about what time you were doing the court work program?
Court program started, the doors opened at 8:15 and I didn't leave until 1:30.
Okay, and what were you doing, in the work program that day?
I was outside doing yard work.
Okay, so you didn't have your SoberLink with you?
My SoberLink was in my coat, but it was hotter that day, so I didn't wear my coat. And I didn't have my phone or my watch.
But when the work program was over, you submitted to a blow about 2:28, does that sound right?
Yes, that's the time that I got back to my house.
Okay, have you consumed any alcohol that day
Oh, I did not.
or the previous night?
No, I did not.
Okay. There's a couple, failed to submit to SoberLink blows, one was on 3/28, March 28th, one was on, April 3rd. And I believe there was another one on April 3rd that it said failed to submit. Were you having any problems with your SoberLink device?
April 3rd, which one, what day was that?
I don't know offhand.
Well, today's the 17th, so that would have been 2 weeks ago today. From 2 weeks ago.
And what time was the April 3rd one?
That would have been,
Well, no.
yes, April, yes, 4 PM. And also March 28th, 8 AM.
Yeah, the April 3rd one, 4 PM. I submitted the test. I missed the 4 PM and I submitted at 5. That one was my fault. I woke up too late. I was rushing to get to work. I woke up around 4:30 and I submitted at 5.
For some of the other ones, for the other, something that it says failed to submit, were you having any problems with the device?
Yes, on some of the other ones, I did have problems with the device. It would freeze up or be non-responsive. And I did talk to, the SoberLink place, and she called me about the payment. She said sometimes it does that, I mean, I'll just have to wait a few moments and the device will be responsive again.
Okay, so you say the Soberlink place, was that house arrest?
Yes.
That's where you got it, right? And you talked to a representative from there?
Yes, she called me about the payment and I spoke to her then about it.
Okay, about the, I guess, recalibrating the device.
Yeah, she didn't tell me, well, yeah, that's what it is, that's what it's called.
Okay, so in instances where that would happen, would you give it some time and then it would work?
Yeah,
Okay. Mr. Fuller, in the dates alleged going back to March 22nd, have you drank any alcohol?
no,
Have you been around any environmental factors that could possibly result in a positive?
no,
You ever drink any NyQuil or mouthwash or any of that?
I haven't drunk NyQuil in mouthwash.
When you're at work, what hours do you work?
I work from 6 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Okay, and has that resulted in you missing any blows?
Yes, sometimes I don't get a break because I'm a team leader and I have to work through my breaks sometimes.
Are you allowed to carry the Soberlink on your person at work?
No. Yeah, it stays in my pocket with my belongings.
And you said you work Monday through Friday, 6 to 5?
Yes.
Okay, as a team leader. So the questions I have here.
Any other questions of him?
No, you're.
Any other witnesses?
No, sir?
Any argument?
Just that, especially for court work program, they do allow, all defendants to keep their Soberlink device on them for court work program. And again, court work program, he was here on March 22nd for court work program and didn't complete his day here. Again, he did test at 8:30. We require everyone to be here at 8:30. So he tested at 8 a.m. When he tested and was tested positive, the device would have prompted him and said to retest. So he still would have had time to retest prior to needing to be inside the courthouse for court work program. And again, the court officers will allow the device on them at all times.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else?
Your Honor, I would just like the court to again know that my client does, I mean, he's got a really good job. He's a team leader at the Dearborn Truck Plant, as you can see on his jacket. He recently took in his sister and her 3 young kids living with him. She's here today, as her support. We're asking to give him, I know it's asking a lot, Your Honor, but to give another crack. I mean, he'll be on a very, 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 very short leash, but any incarceration can result in him losing his job.
Court finds you guilty of all 7 counts. Court finds he was consuming alcohol, which gave rise to the test on March 22nd of 25 with a 200.079, and he failed to submit the subsequent blows. The fact that he's telling me that it was hot and he didn't want it in his coat, he didn't have it, didn't have his coat, and therefore the Soberlink wasn't with him. That's his fault, not ours, not anybody else's. He also failed to submit to a Soberlink blow, I find, at 8 a.m. on March 28th. Failed to appear for weekly testing on March 31 with DNA. Failed to submit to a Soberlink blow at 4 p.m. on April 3. Consumed alcohol, giving rise to the positive test on April 3rd of 25. And then he failed to submit, ironically again, to all subsequent blows. And then he failed to, and I say ironically, I mean, it's just pretty obvious what's going on here. And then he failed to submit to a Soberlink blow at 8 p.m. on April 4, and again at 12 p.m. on April 5/25. Court finds the defendant guilty on all counts. And I'm more troubled by it is he's sitting there and he's giving me all these excuses and he's testifying under oath. And that's a problem. That's a massive, massive problem. It is. It's a big problem. Yeah, I'm looking at you.
No, I'm saying you won't speak.
No, I don't. I don't think what you incriminate yourself any more than you already have. You can't just come in here and say I didn't drink, and give me all these excuses as to why you didn't blow. If you want, I'll put you on the alcohol test. You won't have to worry about it. Why don't you give them a price differential? Do you remember?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
It's more, right?
I'm sorry.
It's more.
Yes, it is.
Than the other soda.
And it's more per day as well.
You wanna do that? You wanna do an alcohol tether, then you don't have to worry about blowing, you're just gonna keep it on all times.
Judge, for that alcohol tether, it's gonna be $100 or the tether, yeah, it's gonna be $100 to roll and it's $10 per day.
You, yes, yeah, anything.
Listen. Don't come in here and tell me you want to think. Run a roll. Run a roll. This is something here. I can forgive mistakes. I can't forgive the sins. I cannot forgive the sins. Why? Under oath. You almost just talked yourself into going to jail. I don't know if I would have done that.
So you gotta take your hat off.
Your Honor, if he's willing to get the tether today, maybe we can put this, schedule this for a sentencing. See how he does with it. If there's any positive readings, the court take that into consideration. Have him increase his AA appearances as well.
John, yeah, let's see what anything supposed to do. It's section of February 5. You got 7 counts. When he pled guilty, when he was found guilty back on February 27th, can you tell me what that was for? And I'm talking about probation violation.
So that was for testing positive at DNA Center for,
Oh, yeah, the artificial innocence.
Yes.
Listen. Section, you give somebody else a job, how much you make?
$36,000.
Oh, but here's the pawn people. I might go over there. And coming up with these stories. And again, you're looking at me like I can't add 19 and 6 without a calculator. Going to tolerate this. I mean, maybe you can go talk to a kindergarten class and you can convince them. I don't know what to tell you. The more I hear on this, the worse it's got.
I don't think I have to hold
But you clear all of your warrants. You're supposed to do that by March 3rd. Did you do that?
no, I mean, I didn't have.
You know what? I think I should just come over there and you can come with the robe on and you can make your own decisions here. Are you in treatment?
Yes, sir.
It's not helping. What's the strange thing? I'm still, also arrested.
That's right.
Shame on me for not sending you to jail for trying to fraud the testing facility. Realize you just committed perjury? I don't want you to answer that. I want you to answer. Do you realize you just committed perjury? I don't want you to answer that. You just committed perjury. You're to pay additional costs of $50. You're to be on a scram tether first day following release from jail. You're to test weekly for 3 months, then bi-weekly. What am I missing? Am I missing anything?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
You're to serve 7 days jail starting right now. 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court appointed.
Your Honor, would you consider letting him spend the weekend, next weekend, so he doesn't lose the job, please?
I don't have anything to do with where they sent him. Brownstown doesn't take weekends. I can't do it.
Brownstown doesn't take weekend prisoners.
Lisa, would Brownstown send him to Flat Rock by chance?
They might. I can double check if you want.
Why don't you check and let me know?
Okay, give me a second.
Your Honor, I know we've made similar weekend fake jail
Now, listen,
arrangements before.
honestly, I should give him an answer. Don't push him. The guy he's a liar. Don't push him. Have a seat over there and I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. I don't know that I'm even inclined to let you do weekends even if I can.
We appreciate the court's consideration. Thank you.
Michael Clark, 4B1467408.
Michael A. Carmen, B73884, on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
Friday's Easter. I'm gonna let you serve between now and 1 PM. I'll let you out at 1 PM on Sunday. And then you're going to serve between, next weekend at Flat Rock, 7 AM on Friday until 10 PM on Sunday. It's the best I'm gonna do.
Your Honor, that is most fair. We appreciate it very much.
All right, you understand what I'm telling you?
Sir.
If you miss 93 days and you lie to me again, you will never get this kind of a break from me. Good luck.
Thanks, Your Honor.